o'clock, and then I'll exit the studio. How are you doing? We have guests in the studio from the River State University French Department. We've got Dr. Felix Nwachukwu and Mrs. Black Duke. Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so when we talk about, the power of language, a lot of people think that language is just about words, but when we talk about language, how deep does it go?
Yeah, language is it's a barrier breaker. Something that breaks a barrier. When you understand language, the language that someone else speaks, you'll be able to interact with the person no matter the distance. So speaking with somebody, it's one thing that will help improve cooperation among people.
All right, so we have different countries with their languages. Some were colonized and they have to speak another country's original language. Where lies the difficulty in having to read, speak, and think in another person's language? Because I've tried to learn French, for example, and I realized that it's more than just speaking. You also have to think in French. So you're a French teacher.
Yeah, actually, that goes beyond language specifically. That is what is called a cognitive linguistics. You need to position yourself in the reality of the target language you want to learn.
Okay.
You position yourself, because the way people conceptualize reality differs. The French people think about, for instance, let's talk about eating. French people eat inside a plate while we eat out of a plate. In English, they said we eat out of the same plate. And then French people say, nous mangeons dans le même plat. You see the difference? So the reality differs. And for you to be able to really appreciate the language and be able to understand and know how to speak the language the way it is spoken, the learning and the knowledge of the reality of the target language is very important.
Okay.
Very, very.
Okay, so I came upon oral English when I was writing my SSCE. That was the first time, right? And when I started trying to learn French, I realized that there was the speaking and the writing, that they were different. So help us understand why we're not taught properly, why we have that challenge. Because for many of us, that's the reason why we couldn't assimilate French, or maybe Hausa, or maybe Igbo, or Yoruba, or Ikwe, whatever it is, when we're in elementary school. The teaching.
I think in learning a language, you start from listening to it first, you communicate. So when the person gets the speaking, you are talking, you're learning how to speak. Then you speak before you learn how to. Right. You see the words. So in speaking the language, you've picked up the way the language sounds most of the time, the way it's pronounced, and what it is like. So when you come to the writing, particularly in French, you find out that there are some words that are different from the way it's spoken. So like every other language, every other thing you learn, you know that, just like my colleague has said, every language has its culture. So you learn the language the way it is. And I think you go on from there.
You're going to say something?
Yeah, it's sometimes, the teachers, it's the training of the individual teachers actually that plays a very important role. If, in language teaching, the use for which the language is meant is also very important. Sometimes there are languages for specific use. The language that you use in an office, the way you teach the language differs. The language for academic usage is also very, very different. So it all depends on the purpose for acquiring the language. If you want to acquire a language in order to, communicate just like that, so the teachings are also different. The teachers, that's one problem people do not understand. Teachers have to also be trained in order to meet the need of the learners. The need of the learners. is very important.
Okay,
It's
so
key.
tell us about how you teach French at the River State University.
Yeah, at River State University, like I said, River State University is a new university. Let's just say that. I mean, it's a part of the River State University of Science and Technology. The law that established River State University of Science and Technology from 1980 was repealed in 2017. So the reason for that, of course, River State University was a specialized institution at the time, and then as a result of of repealing that, the university now is making more rooms for the needs of the population. Of course, we are not only there are lots of people who want to do humanity-related courses and social science-related courses. And so for that reason, the university decided to include all these ones in order to accommodate the manpower needs of Nigeria. And then it began in 2018. So the French department was among the departments that were created, along with philosophy, English, religion and culture, and theater. Yes, there's theater art also in that. So French department is one of the departments, and in the department, actually, others have taken off. In order, we don't want to rush because of the peculiarity of French language. So we wanted to put everything in place. So our teachers have been trained. Of course, it took time for these individuals to be selected from different places. And so we have a collection, a group of very qualified and highly trained individuals who are ready to teach this language. And again, we also have, if you check on our Facebook page, you will see the equipment we have. We recently furnished a French room, with the latest equipment to teach this language. You cannot teach a language without making contact with the original speakers of the language. And for that reason, in fact, yesterday I was teaching some students. I know they were so excited because they saw the people directly, from the big screen in the department, in the French room. Yes. So we have this equipment and we have well-qualified teachers, and the environment is very serene, in the sense that it is highly well air-conditioned. You could come around one day and
see. I'm coming to check it out.
Yes, you come and see.
Yeah, but someone is listening right now. They're asking, why should I learn French? Why should I be bothered?
Yeah, that's the problem. The problem is that why should we not learn French? Why shouldn't we learn French? And now, you see, they ask this question: what do I do? What can I do with French? What can I do? And my question is, what can't you do with French? For instance, you can be, in addition to the fact that, okay, of course, we know that Nigeria is surrounded by French-speaking countries. For you to be able to interact with these people, do business of any kind, you should be able to understand the language. Of course, you could go through an interpreter, but then it will cost you a lot. It will cost you.
And a lot is lost in transition.
Exactly.
Translation. Yes.
And I think you will be better off too with French language if you know French language. If
as
you can
a
speak, yes, as a journalist.
Yes.
Because if you have to go and cover a program outside the shows or even within, because I know that the last time there was which they had a sports festival here, and they had to interpret in French. And I mean, if you knew how to speak French, they would have made some money out of it.
And made some new contacts.
Yes, exactly. That's all we say.
Things, very many things. Of course, to be a personal assistant. In fact, I know executives these days, especially even the VIPs and politicians and even musicians, many of them need personal assistants. Now, a personal assistant can be anybody who studied anything, normally. But then why would you study? People want to get more for less. Okay, for instance, you have business to do in a French-speaking country. You need a personal assistant who will be able to help you. Otherwise, if you go there, you will hire an interpreter. Yes. Okay, and so in the military, even I have a lot of colleagues who, after studying first degree in French, have gone into the military and they are serving very well because, you know, there are bilateral relations between Nigerian military and forces and other countries, not even in Africa, all the parts of the world, France and other countries where French is spoken.
Canada
Yes,
too.
Canada speaks it.
So for those who want to have Plan B, and the Plan B is Canada, it will be instructive.
It is
Yes,
very. In
very.
fact, I have also
Very
a lot of
important.
my friends too who wanted to immigrate to Canada. What they did, they don't know how to speak French. In fact, many of them went to register for French. You know, went to register, and then as a bilingual office assistant, and then even the customs. You know, sometimes in our Nigerian missions overseas, we need people who speak French, and many of them are there as you know, bilinguals, as translators, as those who work on documents from that are written in French.
Okay, so let's move on. For a person who's tried to learn French before and it was just a colossal failure, it was tragic. Is there a way you're going to teach French to these people to make it easier for them to understand, assimilate, and, you know, communicate?
Because like we said, we have the environment. You come into the place. Most of the time, people learn French because then you just come and you see somebody speaking. You don't even understand because it's different from your own. But now when you come, like you said, you could hear them speak it. You could see them. And then you repeat probably after them.
So basically,
you know,
they will be taught like
they
the
will be taught,
locals,
yes,
yeah,
like the local
French speakers.
French speakers, yes. We say we learn French the French way in UST.
Okay.
In
So,
ROS.
all right. So what would it take for a person to join the French department?
Yes. Well, we have the first degree programs, the bachelor's degree programs. Just you need your 5 credits normally. You don't even need to have French in order to
Learn French.
be admitted.
Okay.
Yes, but of course you have to write JAMB and pass the JAMB. Even if the candidates did not initially apply for French, it is also possible to change as long as all the requirements, the O-level requirements, are available. Yes.
That's 5
Yes.
5 credits with math and English.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So how easy it is really to learn French? How easy?
It's easy because we learned it. we're from English-speaking country like every other person. And we learned the French and we speak it very well, like the native speakers.
And you write as well.
We write as well.
Yes, it's very easy. Well, some linguists would say that it's a bit difficult to. You spend more effort, you exert more effort if you're learning a language as an adult, but provided the environment is conducive, you'll be able to learn the language. I started French as a teenager. I was 18 years old when I got into the university, and well, some people say I speak like a Frenchman.
You do?
That's what people say. So, I sometimes, there is basically nothing on phone. You see, that's another thing. You see, for you, one test of your ability to speak French is to be able to communicate with someone on phone, on the telephone.
Talking.
Yes, yes, to talk on phone. That's because there are some obstructions too that might make you not to understand what the individual is saying, what the other person is saying. So, if you are able to do that, you are adjudged to be a competent speaker. So, the thing is, it's interest, number one. If you're very much interested, without interest, it would be very difficult to push someone, into it. Of course, sometimes at the onset, you might not have interest. Someone might have pushed you inside French and to go and study French. But then at a certain point, you begin to develop interest.
I just want to come in there because I didn't really go to learn French. I wanted to read law. And then as a young girl, JAMB, I didn't get the admission for law, and someone said, you speak very well. Go and do French. Then in College of Education, go and read French. I said, French? I didn't do French in secondary school. How am I going to do it? He said, go, I'm sure you can do it. And that's how I started. And today, I learned English, French, and most of my mates continued with English. I said, no, I love this language, and I'm going to continue with it.
And I just imagine that you went back to do a course in French, in law, so you would be a legal practitioner in Nigeria, working maybe for a French company here, or being able to help people who want to travel and those kinds of things. All right. So how can you be reached? For those who want to get more information, the RSU website, is it there on the Facebook page? Where is it?
Facebook page.
Okay.
Yes.
What's the Facebook page address?
French at River State University.
Okay.
French at River State University. You see the information there if you go there. Again, we have email, French at ust.edu.ng. Of course, we've not changed our domain name from UST to RSU yet. But of course, the website too itself is rsu.edu.ng.
So if a person goes online, they can find information about how to. Then, if they want to come to the school, where can they find you?
We are located at the top floor of the Faculty of Humanities. The top floor there. Just ask French department. You will be shown the way there.
You want to say something?
No, I was just saying that French department, topmost floor.
So, are there other services you provide?
We are making arrangements to begin certificate courses in French, yes, and competency courses too in French. That we have, in fact, all the arrangements are almost concluded to begin that. But then we will advertise, make it available, the information available on our web pages, on the Facebook page, whenever the time comes. And it's going to be very soon. Very soon. Okay,
so basically you said those that didn't choose French for JAM and they're eligible to get into university, they have 5 basic credits from elementary, secondary school. They can do a switch.
Yes, they can switch. Even now, yes, it is possible. I mean, for those who are there in the university, can also
switch courses. Come to French.
Courses, yes.
Okay. All right. And it's what you have right now is a degree program.
Yes, it is. It is a degree program.
All right.
Yes, that we have, and certificate courses are coming up very soon. Very soon.
The French in part-time.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. That's a degree
programs, part-time degree programs, so that for those who are working, really.
Yes.
Okay. Someone is calling. I'm not sure why, but let's see. Perhaps someone has a question for us. Good morning. Oh, okay. The person has left the building. So River State University now offers French degree program, part-time degree program, and they're working on certificate courses. You say those that did not pick it in their first choice or in any of their choices can switch. Those already on campus, and maybe they wanted to do French, but RSU wasn't offering French at that time. This is a good time to also switch. That means that students will take elective courses in French.
Yes, sure. In fact, at the moment, we're servicing a number of departments. Yes, that are doing other courses, studying other courses.
Mass communication students.
Okay.
French.
All right. So, is there a number to call? Because someone is very interested and is asking, is there a number to call?
Yes. There is 0816 9126 264.
No, the number again.
0816 9126 264.
0816
9126 264.
9126 264. And
080 333 98994.
080-333-98994. Topmost floor, Faculty of Humanities, River State University is where we can find the French department. And also the information is online, ust.edu.ng.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Felix Nwachukwu and Mrs. Black Duke.
Thank you.
from the French department of the River State University.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's a wrap. Oh, merci beaucoup, merci beaucoup.
Vous parlez français quand même, hein, parce que je vous ai entendu parler.
Un peu.
Un peu, ouais. C'est bon, hein? C'est bien.
Thank you.
Ouais,
All right,
okay.
so I think we should take the rest of it to the classroom. My name is Eno Ogbeviri. Thank you for joining the conversation this morning.